Hey, good morning and welcome right here to Done Believing, right? That's what the name of the show is, right? Going to speak with a New Zealand accent today all the way through the show. Probably not. Why New Zealand accent? Because it's a nicer accent than the Australian accent, right? It's much nicer. And you know what it is? It's the New Zealand people, they live on a little island. They've got the Kiwi. That's all they really need. That they've got their Maori companions with them. Their Maori companions all aggressive and putting the tongues out of the mouth, right? I like the New Zealand accent much more than the Australian accent. Australian accent, way too harsh, way too brutal. Makes me think of a giant knife and a crocodile for some reason. I don't know. I don't like that. Crikey! Oh, did you see that one? She was a beauty. We gotta go mess with her. Makes me think of Crocodile Hunter. Guy that could not leave well enough alone. Always messing with creatures in their natural habitat. Not the New Zealand friends, though. Just a quick little 1,000-mile jaunt over the Tasmanian Sea there, and you're there in New Zealand. It's a nice, lovely place. Going to go on holiday there? Oh, yeah? That's great. When I was there, I went there for 3 months after I graduated from high school. Me and a buddy of mine, we were backpacking around. New Zealand people, very nice folks. Like the second day in country, we caught a ride. We were hitchhiking, caught a ride with this guy. He's like, "Yeah, you guys on a holiday, are you?" "Yeah, it's great. It's good, just jaunting around." He took us. This is how crazy we were. This is how awesome New Zealand is. We never met this guy. He was an old, middle-aged guy. Of course, I'm a middle-aged guy now. But at the time, he was old man. We were young kids. He's like, "Why don't you stay at my house tonight? You guys, wake up bright and early in the morning. Continue your holiday, heading south towards Queensland." So we did. We spent the night at this guy's house. His wife cooked us breakfast the next morning. Horrible breakfast. Absolutely horrible. You know what it was? It was canned spaghetti on toast. Oh, you like spaghetti and toast there? Not to be confused with pork and beans on toast. Another traditional breakfast here. Anyways, I like the New Zealand accent much better than Australia. Those Aussies. What is an Aussie anyways? I know what a kiwi is. It's a fruit. It's a delicious rich man strawberry. I don't know what the hell an Aussie is, and I don't think I'd want to eat one. I don't want an Aussie in my mouth. Hey, good morning. This is Done Believing, moving away from simply believing that a New Zealand accent is a superior accent to the Australian accent. Moving away from believing straight to knowing. All for the purpose of overcoming your own delusions. And let me tell you, the world is full of delusions. Here's an example of a delusion for you. You remember a few years ago, maybe right now, I don't know. I'm not in touch with what's going on. Not in touch with what's going on, right? Once I get that New Zealand accent in my brain, I don't think I can get it out. But listen, man, constantly these trends are coming and going. And I believe that I have to believe this because I don't have proof, but I think I have proof. I'll show it to you. Proof that trends are based in delusion. So many people just a few years ago, if not now, like I was just saying, they're like, "Oh, I don't like clowns." Remember that? You ever met somebody? Maybe it's you. Maybe you're the person that's like, "Oh, I'm afraid of clowns. I don't like clowns." That is so trendy to be afraid of clowns. It's not unique at all. If you're thinking about coming out as a clown, what's the word I'm looking for? A clown phobic person, don't. We've got too many of those. And look at this. All right. So here's a picture. There's a clown. There's a kid being afraid. And that's okay because that kid is a little kid and that's a stranger. That child was taught, be afraid of strangers. Okay, but there's a clown for you. And everybody's like, "Ew, clowns creep me out." But let me ask you this, and we're going to get to the question of the week here in just a second. But I got a couple of things I got to get off my chest for the weekend, or else I'm not going to be able to sleep all weekend long. I got to get this out. But here's one. How are people afraid of this? Oh, that's spooky. It's a grown man, makeup all over his face. And if you're intelligent, I think you know where I'm going with this. How can you be afraid of that, but not of this? A drag queen. It's a dude with makeup all over his face and a wig on who wants your child to sit on his lap. Sick bastard. There, we're like, oh, the clowns. Clowns have fallen out of style. No kid wants a clown at his birthday party. Have you noticed that? They've been taught that. Children were taught, hey, clown means fun. You should like it. And kids liked fun clowns. But then some freaking child of divorce came along and was like, I don't like clowns at my birthday party because when my parents threw me a big 7th birthday party, invited all my friends and I had clowns and everything was going great. And then my mom got drunk on wine coolers and my dad started arguing with him. And then that's when they got a divorce. Yeah, that's why you don't like clowns, because you got some baggage. But not afraid of that, though. That's what I mean. Even trends and styles are rooted in delusion. Isn't that crazy? And the reason I bring that up, because I was thinking about things that don't exist. Things that don't exist in the world. All right. And people are like, oh, I believe in this. I believe in that. And it's like, hey, good morning, Seth. Seth has joined us. A small list this morning of things that just don't exist. Number 1 on the list, Bigfoot. I don't believe in Bigfoot. There, I want to go on record as being a person who does not believe in the Sasquatch. I just don't buy it. And I'll tell you why. How do you kill one? That's what I want to know. How do you kill a Bigfoot? Nobody's talking about, I need a damn haircut, man. This hair keeps getting in my face. Nobody's talking about how to kill a Bigfoot. They'll tell you all day long how to kill a Dracula. Oh, you got to drive a stake through the heart. You got to cut the head off. You got to throw it out on a sunny morning with no cloud cover. All this stuff. Hey, Clifton has joined us. Good morning, sir. Good to see you online. Keep going. How to kill a Dracula. Oh, you got to throw holy water all over it. You got to smother it in garlic like a ravioli. Here's another one. A werewolf. You ever seen one? No, but people believed in them so much. People believed in these werewolves and Draculas so much, they invented ways to kill these things. You got to shoot it with a silver bullet. That's it. I think you can cut its head off. Am I missing one of the ways that you kill a Bigfoot? I mean, a werewolf. My point is this. I'm starting to think that maybe in history, there were really such things. I'm trying to say this with a straight face. That back in history, there's really such thing as Dracula. There's really such thing as a wolf man. But the reason we don't see them is because people figured out how to kill them because they were real. And if something's real and it's a threat to you, you're going to figure out a way to kill it. And it's an effective way to kill it. So now they're extinct. That's all it is. Wolfmen and Draculas, they're just extinct like the dinosaurs. And we got pictures and cave drawings of how to kill a woolly mammoth, a woolly mammoth. I like woolly mammoth. How to kill a woolly mammoth. We got pictures on how to kill it. Think about that. Cave drawings. That was the first instructional manual on how to take down something like that. That's why there's no more woolly mammoths, because the way that they killed them was really effective. I don't hear anybody talking about how to kill a Bigfoot. Therefore, they don't exist. Never been one. Because let me tell you, if you're out camping, if like Bigfoots are so out there that they exist and they're messing with people in the woods and all this other crap, and people are, oh, they're gentle giants. They're running away from you. No, they're not. No, they're not. All these picnic baskets being raided by Yogi Bear, that's really a Bigfoot. We got to figure out how to kill him. Do we need a silver bullet? What do we need? Got a comment from Seth Radliff. He says, can trans people exist? Seth, don't run ahead. Seth, don't run ahead, Seth. I'm going someplace with this. You're mucking things up. Anyways, if they are and have always been the sex they identify as, then there is no transition. Well, that's true. There ain't no such thing as a transgender person, according to some beliefs. Don't Flag me, Facebook, and mute me and silence me for saying that. I'm only throwing an opinion out there. No such thing as a trans person, because how can you trans from what you really are on the inside? So stupid. But yeah, man, think about that. No such thing as Bigfoot. Don't know how to kill one. What else? No such thing as a honest politician. Oh, wait, no, there is such thing as a dishonest politician. I believe in dishonest politicians because there's a way to kill them. Well, again, Facebook, I'm not talking about killing politicians. Don't flag me on that. Don't send your AI bots to shut me down. But honest politicians do have a weakness, and it's truth. All you got to do is expose the truth of what it is, and you'll have a politician running away from you or lashing out on you. All I'm saying is, if something exists, it's got to have a weakness or a way to stop it. Here's something that doesn't exist, and this is kind of what you're talking about, Seth. Child-friendly drag shows. Do drag shows exist? Yes, they do. Do child-friendly drag shows exist? No, they don't. How in the hell? Here, I'll show you. Here's a picture of a drag show, of a drag queen. And you tell me if this is child-friendly. Oh, my bad. That's a whale. Here's what I really meant to show. Yeah. Child-friendly. That guy could trip on a balloon animal and crush 5 children to death. Not friendly. Not a safe environment to take your little children to. On top of that, I mean, if you can go and look at this crap, you'll see like dollar bills. He's holding dollar bills in his hand. In his right hand, you'll see a wad of, I believe, dollar bills. That's what it looks like to me. And you've seen these videos here in Texas, man. Texas, of all places. I'm starting to think that movie, what was that one movie there in the Marines? What was that? Full Metal Jacket. You from Texas ain't nothing but steers and queers from Texas, boy, and you ain't got no horns. All right, I think that was the line. I'm starting to believe that Arlie Irving, I think that was his name, the guy who played the drill sergeant in that movie. I'm starting to think he was on to something. Ain't nothing from Texas but steers and queers, and you ain't got no horns. Oh, you must be part of a child-friendly drag show, and alleged, because there's no such thing. That's not a friendly environment for children. Come on now. That's crazy. Anyways, there's my little rant about things that do exist and things that don't exist. And something that doesn't exist is a child-friendly drag show. And the reason I bring that up is because this week, and you can check the headlines, you might have already seen a headline that said this. There was in Roanoke, Texas, I believe that's somewhere around Dallas. I think I've been there. I think I got some friends that live there now that I think of it. Anyways, some business owner had a drag queen lunch, brunch or something, and you bring your kid and have some drag queens dance around. So some anti-protesters or protesters showed up to say, hey, we don't want that kind of crap in our town. So Antifa members dressed in black with guns showed up to provide security for the drag queens. It was a big fiasco. And they kept saying over and over and over again, child-friendly drag show. I'm like, well, that's not really no such thing as that. No child needs to be exposed to that. A kid needs to be out playing. Why in the hell are you dragging your kid to a show? Just let him go out and play. Good Lord. Anyways, don't let him play with mama's makeup. Let him play with a ball or something, or a doll or whatever. Anyways, let's get to the question of the week. The question of the week this week has been, do you take credit for your own sinful desires? Do you? Yes or no? Right now, answer the question. And I hope that you've had fun with that. The point of the question, start a conversation, start your mind thinking. That's it. But I do have my opinion. I do have my thoughts. Not really the answer. It's not the answer I was trying to persuade anybody towards. Sometimes I have these questions and I have my answers and stuff like that. But then I go to my little church group in the park on Thursday nights and I ask them, and they come back with some really interesting, profound stuff that I had not thought about before. So very interesting. That being said, here's my 2 cents on the question of the week. Do I take credit for my own sinful desires? I used to, but I don't anymore. I used to, but I don't anymore. I have come to realize on my own with the help of God Did I have any more pictures over here? No, I think that was it. Okay, I have realized, come to this on my own with the help of God. God's showing me, nobody else. All temptation comes from the ego. Have you ever realized that? All your temptations. Nobody's tempting themselves. And so many times people think that it is a sin to even be tempted. They get confused when Jesus was like, if you think about murder in your heart, then you're guilty of the murder. And they're like, oh no, I thought about killing this guy because he cut me off on the freeway. It's like, that's not what Jesus is saying. That's you thinking that Jesus is saying, if you're tempted, therefore you're guilty. No, that's not what he's saying. Just because the thought goes through your mind doesn't make it in your heart. That's in your mind. That's just a temptation. So before we claim credit for our own sinful desires, where do the desires come from? They come from the mind and the imagination, and entertaining thoughts that we shouldn't be entertaining. We should be doubting every single thought. We should be forcing every single thought to prove itself correct. Like, oh, I just really want some ice cream right now, and I want to eat the entire thing. If I don't get it, I'm gonna explode. I force that thought to prove itself. I sit there, I don't eat the ice cream, and you know what? I don't explode, and life goes on. So I realize, oh, that thought is a lie. I shouldn't really believe into that thought anymore. Anyways, all temptations are coming from the ego. You realize that? Here's proof. You're not, well, let me back up before I keep going. Ego. What do I mean by that? I like this definition of the word ego. Subjective self-identity. Subjective, not objective. It's not you looking at yourself and having no judgments about yourself. It's you subjecting yourself to what you believe to be true, not what is true. So ego, totally messed up self-identity. Got another comment from Seth. He says, child friendly? That's messed up. Do they have a family night at the strip clubs? They should, Seth. Maybe we could start it. I'm sure they will soon enough. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Ugh. It's gross. It is gross. The people that want to take their kid to a child-friendly drag show, they are delusional people. You got to be delusional. You got to be brain dead and inbred to be doing something like that. Pawpaw, why are you taking your kids over there? It's crazy, Pawpaw. Don't be doing that. Where was I? Yeah, the ego, though. Ego. It's subjective self-identity. It's not real self-identity. It's not getting to know yourself. It's just plugging in what you think. It's like putting on makeup. It's like putting on makeup and going, oh, I'm a drag queen on the inside. Oh, I'm a beautiful unicorn on the inside. No, you're about 15 Big Macs on the inside. You need to lay low. Holy smokes. It's pitiful. It's pitiful. Where was I, though? All right. Anyways, proof that you're not tempting yourself. The temptations are coming from somewhere. And temptations are playing to your ego. They're playing to what you think you want. They're playing to some type of weakness that you have about yourself that you're not familiar with. A subjective truth about yourself. Case in point, Jesus. Jesus was tempted a multitude of times, I'm sure. Jeff Anderson has joined us. Good morning, sir. Great to see you online. Jesus tempted a couple of times. One of those times was documented. He was tempted with 3 different things in this particular story. Food, number 1. Purpose, number 2. And identity. He was hungry, so he got tempted with some food. Hey, you're hungry. You need to eat something. Nope. My dad said don't eat for a while. I'm trying to focus my mental, spiritual energy onto what I got to do. That's just going to get in the way. I don't, and God and Satan, Jesus, God, Satan, all over the place. And Satan's like, if you don't eat, you're going to die. Just like I was saying with the ice cream. The nervousness that comes over you when like you have that urge to do whatever vice it is you're stuck doing. For me, it was ice cream. You got to eat that ice cream or else your head's going to explode and you're not going to be able to sleep tonight. So I just put it to the test. No, I'm pretty sure I'll be able to sleep. This is just a passing thought. If I just sit here for another couple of seconds, Something on the TV is going to happen, and I'm not going to be thinking about ice cream anymore. And sure enough, my head didn't explode, and I was able to go to sleep that night, which is proof that's a evil, nasty thought. Not my thought. Thought from Satan, thought from someplace else. I don't know. I don't care. I don't want it. So here's Jesus trying to do his thing, and Satan's over there. Oh, you got to eat something. It's not true. I don't have to eat anything right now. Here's another one. Oh, bow down to me, and I'll give you all these kingdoms and stuff. Purpose. You're supposed to be the king of the world. Why don't you go ahead and fulfill your purpose right now? He's tempting him with something that appeals to him. Here's another one. Your identity. If you're the son of God, like you say you are, jump off of this mountain and see if our cliff or wherever they were, temple, I don't know. Jump down from here and see if the angels keep you from killing yourself. If you're so important, messing with his food, messing with his purpose in life, messing with his identity. And if Jesus had had an ego, a subjective self-image, he would have fallen victim to any of those temptations, man. It would have been bad. It would have been horrible. So my point is this. While the temptations were coming from a place of reality, like, was Jesus hungry? Yeah. Did Jesus have doubts? I'm sure he did. He was a human, looking with human eyes, not spiritual eyes. Did Jesus have to edify himself in who he was, who his identity was regularly? Yes, and he did that by going and being alone with the Father, praying. When everybody else was sleeping, he was over there getting alone with his heavenly Father, renewing himself, edifying, encouraging himself spiritually. Anyways, so all of those temptations appealed to Jesus. Notice, Jesus was not tempted by sex or drugs. Hey, Jesus, you want to do some crack? No. Hey, Jesus, you want to go to a drag time story hour or drag show, child-friendly drag show? No. So, like, I'm not going to be tempted by Satan to go to a drag show. That does not appeal to me at all. There's other things that the enemy uses to try to seduce me, things that do appeal to me, such as ice cream. That appeals to me. Therefore, I'm going to be tempted like that. But if I take credit for those sinful desires, I want to have the ice cream. I have this weakness. I'm a cookie junkie. Then I'm going to buy into that. I'm going to identify as that. And it's just like all these crazy people. I'm messed up. I'm a girl on the inside. I'm this. I'm that. It's like, oh, Lord, your sexuality, on a side note, your sexuality is just, you hit a certain age, it's just not that important. I have done lots of old folks home ministry. What do they call it? Like hospice care ministry, retirement home ministry, whatever. I call them old folks home because it's like where a bunch of old folks live. I've done a lot of that in my time. And I talk to these people, a bunch of octogenarians, 90-year-old somethings, and I talk to them. And you know what comes up? What never comes up is their sex life. Because at that age, you just don't give a damn anymore. It's over. It's done. You've procreated. You've had your good times. You're doing something else now. And I'm not talking about like the old decrepit ones. I'm talking about the ones that were like still moving around and had cognitive thoughts and could engage and this, that, and the other. I'm just saying, man, like you're going to find your identity in something that's fleeting. That's pretty miserable. You're going to find your identity in something like alcohol so that the only time you're really you is when you're drunk. That's so miserable to do that. You're going to find your identity in ice cream. Well, ice cream melts. And your identity is going to melt too. Pathetic. So I say that, man, we got to kill the ego. All your temptations are trying to get you to identify as the person who likes said temptations. You like crack? It's because you're a crackhead. You like, what's another one? What's another one? You like pretty women? You like lusting after women? It's because you're a pervert. Well, whoa, dial it down. I can't control my thoughts when some beautiful specimen of a woman like this goes walking in front of me. I can't control my urges. When some slut like this walks in front of me barely clad, and I can't control the urges that go through my mind. I'm joking, of course. Good Lord. Oh, not about the urges. When I see something like that, I just can't control the lust in my heart. But it is true. It is true, though. I've been perfectly fine living my life, not thinking about anything. And then some trampy looking girl walks in front of me with a short skirt. I wasn't even thinking about sex. And then now this person put sex in my mind. What am I saying? I want all women to dress in a burqa and cover all that up? No. But I'm telling you this, what helped me was stop identifying as a lustful person or as an evil person or something. Stop identifying with that and just observe those thoughts. Man, why am I thinking like that? Oh, probably because I'm a young guy. This is like when I was a little younger. Probably because I'm a young guy with a sex drive and there's some good looking gal in front of me. I kind of like it's all chemistry happening in my brain. So I shouldn't really identify with that. I should just observe it and then move on. Just move on. You don't have to get hung up on all that. But that's the problem. The enemy wants us to identify as our problems, as our temptations. And once you identify as your temptation, he's got you. Now you have an ego. Now he'll play to your ego all the time. If you buy in to the temptation, you'll feel guilty, which is your ego. If you don't buy into the temptation, you'll feel proud. You'll feel holy and pious, which is your ego. You're screwed either way with Satan. The best thing to do is kill the ego by learning how to observe. I'm going to end with this. I strongly suggest you do this. If not, go your own way. But I strongly recommend this because it works. Kind of like if you got a Dracula living in your backyard or living behind you, best thing to do, put a stake in the heart. It will solve your Dracula problems every time. As I was saying before in the video. Best thing to do, strongly advise this. Don't do it if you don't want to. That's fine. But every morning and every night, go and pray in silence. Shut your mouth. Don't try to focus your thoughts. Just observe your thoughts. You will begin to learn how to hear the voiceless voice of God. Then you'll just grow in confidence, knowing damn well that everything you do, everything you say is of God. And all thoughts are pointless. I'm not saying just mentally check out and don't think about anything. We still have mental processes. We still have to concentrate and contemplate. But all the illusions of reality in your mind, all the imaginations, don't believe any of them. Now, I just noticed this in my own life. Anytime I buy into one of these delusions in my head, it's bad news. Anytime I continue walking with the idea that everything going on in my head is 100% false, life's great. Anyways, that's it. Have a great week. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for your comments. I will see you back next week. I've got an awesome question of the week next week. You're not going to want to miss this. It's so good. And it's not how do you kill a Bigfoot, because they don't exist. If they existed, there would be a step-by-step process in how to kill them. I can't get off of this. But I'm going to end there with the New Zealand accent. Again, we started the show, right? The New Zealand accent. And we'll leave with New Zealand accent. They end everything up. They end everything on a question like, is that a question? You questioning me that you're a Kiwi? I'm a Kiwi? Right? Are you? Anyways, hey, have a great weekend.